So all the prior modules, what is it, 1 through 7, and the 4-hour chart levels training, everything has been getting you ready for the core part of the program called Trade the Signals. So you now have left-hand chart and right-hand chart set up, or chart set up however the heck you want to set them up in alignment with what works for you for visually efficient trading. And now I'm going to get into how to trade these setups, whether they're W pattern and lift, M pattern and rollover, levels test, level sweep, stair stepping higher price action, stair stepping lower price action, trading in alignment with pickup points in uptrends or kickbacks and sell points in downtrends. The entire Algo IQ program and tools is all about getting you to a point where you're mechanically trading or trade the signals, just trade those signals, not really thinking about a whole bunch of other stuff. Just get in and work the signals with specific bracketed setups, meaning when you get a signal and you get the audible alert and you see the symbol on your chart, you can have an ATM strategy already selected for that particular instrument and time frame that you have labeled logically, so you know, and you have that toggled and set so that every time I work a trade on this chart, as I'm watching the dynamic range of price in relation to the super bands, so I can see where its price. Is it in oversold areas? Is it in overbought areas? Is it in running downtrend, running uptrend, in impulsive moves? Is it challenging levels, and so on? Then you can jump over on your actionable chart, or maybe you want your actionable chart to be the one with super bands. That's up to you. But you have the signals, the mom signals or reversal signals, same setups, but you can use reversal signals. I'm going to start off with trade the signals, working the mom, the momentum signals. Then we'll move over to working trade setups with the reversal signals. Catching momentum bursts is a high probability type of trading operations, so that even if you take a high number of these signals, you should be coming out at the end of each week clean. You're not going to win every trade. You're going to have strings of 2 and 3 losers in a row and choppy days. But in the end, when you catch, all big moves happen after a burst of initial momentum. Like 90% of the time, big moves come out of bursts of institutional activity where the largest participants are coming into the market and juicing the market with their liquidity. And a lot of times when the NASDAQ, for instance, is running hard, or gold is running hard, or the ES, or the YM, it's in conjunction with them running buy program activity or sell program activity. They're buying options, stocks, and futures together in conjunction in baskets of automated activity. So the whole additional direction now of the entire Algo IQ program is to get you highly proficient at trade the signals. When you get a signal, how do you go in and execute the trade? So for those of you that need help with that, I decided to formalize or make this a very formal part of the training and show you the best way to set up brackets, whether you're on Quant Tower platform or NinjaTrader, TickBlaze, whatever platform we have the tools on, and have your brackets ready to go. So when you get a signal, see area of price that's getting tested. Let's kind of do a little drawing here real quick. So maybe in the morning you saw some buying and the market lifted out of that area price. So you saw some buying in the morning. You get lift out of that. You see an area then that's holding on. You want to be a buyer. You get lift and you get a signal. I want to show you how to, enter the trade, where to put your stop, the least amount of stop, the most amount of stop, working either an ATM strategy in NT8 or the brackets in Quant Tower or whatever platform you're on that we have the tools in, so that you can get into the trade and have some sort of semi-automated mechanism take over from the point that you go in, you hit the buy button. Let's say you hit the market order, you hit the buy button, you're in the market, and your ATM kind of takes it from there. So, some movement to price in your intended direction, you take some portion of the trade off, stop moves to break even plus. Here you get blipped out. You might try it again. You might try it again. Now, this is way coming into the end of day activity, but the key is when you get a signal to know what kind of bracketed entry setup that you can get in, or you can work it manually. You can work at your entry in and put in your stop and targets manually. But more of this focus will be on making it as easy as possible so that when you enter a trade, you already have your stop target deployed out. And from that point, you're more in a passive management mode, because really you could sit back and let the, at least, in NT8, you could let the ATM strategy kind of take it from there. And the idea then is to be using the training for the M pattern. That's not a very good M pattern. Let's get rid of that one. M pattern and rollover type setups, W pattern and lift type setups. You're getting a levels test or level sweep, whether it's, resistance or support, working signals out of those setups, or you just see a market that during the day is grinding higher. It's continuing to stair step higher, and you want to get in on pullbacks in that uptrend. And when you get signals, join it with a bracketed trade setup. So that's all the next modules I want to completely cover on a range of platforms: how to go in, how to set up brackets, and then how to move your trading from a total manual mode to at least somewhat, I guess you could call a semi-automated mode, so that when you hit the buy button or the sell button, you kind of have the capabilities of the platform take it from there to enter your trade, put in your stop, your targets, and some sort of trill stop mechanism if that trade platform has that as part of the inherent capabilities of the platform. So, and this is going to run into now when I'm doing live trading with YouTube live stream, that it's all going to be on trade the signals. The focus, anytime I open that room and say, hey, in 2 days from now, I go put in the Revolt main room for Algo IQ private community. I say, on Thursday at 5:30 a.m. Pacific time, the room's going to be open. Here's the link. Algo IQ people only. You come in, and I'm going to be just running trade the signals trading for the most part through this, leaving the summer months, getting into the fall months. As I can get more stuff turned on that I feel is very dialed in on the automated, I'll do a mix of, one chart might be doing something completely automated while I'm working another instrument on the trade the signals approach. Now I can tell from our group, we're probably about 70-30. 30% are doing stuff automated, either with a strategy or third-party tools, and the other 70%, the predominance of their trading is manual discretionary. So let's get you very mechanical, very dialed in, know where you should be a buyer, where you should be a seller, and why, and then how to go mechanically operate those trades as efficient as possible. So, that time window that you have available every day, you can go in, hit your signals, get a few, get to a daily goal, and shut down for the day, or trade as long as you want. That's up to you. So everything we're going to do in the next series of modules will be all about trade the signals, getting you completely dialed in for day after day, go in and extract profits out of these markets, at least on a weekly basis. There might be days where the market just is there's nothing going on, it's congested. You might have a losing day, but we don't want to have losing days that are going to take our account down. And if you trade a bunch of signals in sequence together, you're not going to have a scenario where you're ever blowing out your account. You're going to have a scenario where it might be a little bit down on the day. But a lot of times, even if I hit two signals that don't really make me any profit, or I lose a little bit on each of the signals, I don't need much of one linear movement to clean me up and at least have me positive until that trade plays out. Well, I'm then waiting on forward going signals, you know, after I kind of catch a signal that gets at least some sort of linear movement to get me positive on the day and back to a scenario where I'm waiting for, M pattern, W pattern activity, levels, test level sweeps, trend continuation type entries, and so on. So that's what we're going to get into next. Let's get ready. Now we have our left hand and our right hand chart on NT8. You guys have templates for these. If the templates don't work, I'm sorry. Or if they've been updated, and they're not working your platform, then make sure you watch the videos, go in and set the settings. Over time, you'll kind of memorize, or you can, take notes on what I have the settings set to. These templates, so you can easily build charts up and duplicate them on your end. Now this is NT8. Let's take a quick look at Quant Tower. So I have my left hand and right hand chart for MNQ instrument on Quant Tower all set up. So in the start here training, we have templates for NT8 for left hand, right hand chart. We have templates for Quant Tower. The Tick Blaze templates are going to be in their own section specific to Tick Blaze training. That platform's a little bit more, I guess you could say, advanced, more sophisticated. I want to put all the training for Tick Blaze kind of in its own area, away from and segregated away from NT8 and Quant Tower training. It'll be the same type of setups on settings that are similar. It's just that platform is very different than these other two platforms, and I want to segment that training in its own area just to keep stuff as organized as possible. So there you have it. We have left hand and right hand charts in NT8, whether you're on NT8. Left hand, right hand charts now for Quant Tower with all the settings and templates as needed. You can adjust from there, as I've mentioned in the past. If a time frame is too lagging for you, or the speed of the candle activity, this is kind of what I call this time frame is leaving quick scalping, moving towards intraday position trading, whether you're on the NT8 templates or the Quant Tower. That's kind of the to me, a really good place to start. If it's too fast for you, you can bump up your Renko, the brick size of the actual body of the wick. One thing I want to add here that I think I might have forgot. Oh yeah, I got show wicks. I always want to have show wicks as part of my candlestick construction. And you can see I have wicks over here, wicks over here. That's important. And just, dial up the body, the actual, not counting the wicks, but you can always step up this sizing to, and when you move up, what you're doing is you're moving away from having lots of trade opportunities to having less, but now you're into capturing what I call the bigger picture signals on the day. So for some of you, that might be the pace and the type of trading you want. You don't want to be jumping back and forth in signals in congested areas where you're maybe not reading the market yet at a level that you're very proficient. Maybe you're still learning how to see stair-stepping higher price, stair-stepping lower price, W pattern and lift, M pattern, rollover, and so on. As you're building your screen time, getting used to the tools and reading the market that way. So until you become more proficient, there's nothing wrong with marching up your time frames away from what I'm training to something that fits for you and your current level of capability. So that's an overview of what we're going to do. Trade the signals is going to be a big part of this curriculum. Now let's get into setting up some brackets and working some trade activity first with NT8 platform.